NXIVM. Run by Keith Raniere, it is a self-described multi-level marketing company based near Albany, New York. It offered personal and professional development seminars through its executive success programs. Keith had many famous names in his MLM. In fact, his associate was Allison Mack, known for her role in Smallville. In the early 2000s, people began talking about how NXIVM was a cult. Turns out, the company had a recruiting program for a secret society. They called it DOS, or The Vow. Allison Mack was the main recruiter, and the women that she recruited were branded and forced into prostitution. In early 2018, Keith Raniere, Allison Mack were arrested and indicted on federal charges for sex trafficking. In April 2019, others associated with NXIVM were also charged with federal crimes. Co-founder Nancy Salzman, Lauren Salzman, Seagram Harris, Claire Bronfman, and bookkeeper Kathy Russell pleaded guilty to various charges. On June 19, 2019, a federal district court in Brooklyn convicted Keith Raniere of sex trafficking and racketeering. A lot of people hear NXIVM and they think sex cult. However, it was a sex cult MLM. NXIVM featured a 12-point mission statement members had to recite and featured a practice termed exploration of meaning that involved senior members questioning members as they delved into their childhood memories. NXIVM conducted intensive classes for 12 hours daily for 16 days. One cited price was $7,500. I am going to do a deep dive into NXIVM very shortly on my channel. NXIVM was definitely proven to be a cult. However, that doesn't mean that all MLMs are cults. So today, we continue to discuss Stephen Hassan's Byte model. And then we will answer the question, are MLMs cults? Hello, my name is Beth, or Queen of Spade, and you're watching Manipulation of a Hunbot. In part 1 of this episode, we discussed the first 3 categories of the Byte model and how they relate to MLMs. Behavior control, information control, thought control. Now, let's discuss emotional control. Emotional control. Number 1. Manipulate and narrow the range of feelings some emotions and/or needs are deemed as evil, wrong, or selfish. MLMs rely on toxic positivity to help manipulate emotions. Any negativity, especially in relation to the business, is deemed as evil and wrong. Not spending all your time as a distributor working your business like a #boss babe, and you are deemed as selfish. Everything has to be about your MLM. Number 2, teach emotion stopping techniques to block feelings of homesickness, anger, doubt. This is especially apparent if a distributor doubts the company or its business model. There are pre-planned speeches that uplines are to deliver to downlines if they ever doubt they will make a profit or question if this whole MLM thing is for them. Number 3, make the person feel that problems are always their own fault, never the leader's or the group's fault. MLMs are most guilty of this. They claim the business model makes work easy, and if you are unsuccessful, it's due to your lack of drive or lack of work ethic, not the company's products or their business model. Training is often done by uplines who are poorly trained themselves, and MLMs leave it up to you to train yourself, so when you fail, the blame falls on none other than you, and they will blame it all on you. Number 4, promote feelings of guilt or unworthiness, such as A, identify guilt. B, you are not living up to your potential. C, your family is deficient. D, your past is suspect. E, your affiliations are unwise. F, your thoughts, feelings, actions are irrelevant or selfish. G, social guilt. H, historical guilt. If you have ever been in an MLM, while I read through that list, you may have thought of a time when you experienced each one of these tactics. MLMs make their distributors carry guilt for everything in their lives. Guilt about taking time to themselves, guilt over why they aren't being successful. They rely heavily on ensuring their Hunbots are constantly feeling guilt. Religion is often used as well as a way to guilt distributors. Here is an example of a training from an upline that showcases a lot of this.
With It Works Global. Today I want to tell you a little bit about how I sign distributors and kind of the mindset that I focus on when I'm trying to sign distributors. Okay, I took a little bit from what I've learned from other distributors in my sideline and upline, as well as what I've learned from my mistakes and kind of thinking the wrong way in my own business. Okay, so the first thing that I want to tell you is that there's no cookie cutter way of signing distributors. Okay, there's no script that I can give you where you can just say it exactly like this and they're going to sign up no matter what. Guaranteed. That's not the case. And that's okay, because the reason that's not the case is because every person is different. And that is a good thing. That is a wonderful thing in this world, especially when you're looking at your business and your team. Because the things that I am good at, my strengths, some of my team members don't have. And so I can do that for them. I can help them with that area, okay? And some of my weaknesses, my team rocks at, and so they kind of make up for that in me and encourage me and teach me the same thing. So that's what makes a team a wonderful thing. That's why we work together in this, and that's why we're all working together to try to get the same outcome, okay? So here is what I do, okay? The number one thing about signing distributors is your mindset. And really that's the case in everything in this business, your mindset, okay? There's two things that I'll focus on. Always keep, it's a constant struggle. I wake up every morning and have to be like, Savannah, focus on these two things in your business and when you're signing distributors, okay? And the first thing is being positive, okay? Stay, not just being positive, but staying positive. You can have the worst day ever. I mean, we all have crappy days, okay? You can have a day where you go blitz people, every single person looks at you like you're an idiot. and where you're messaging people and every single person shoots you down immediately, okay? We all have those days. It's okay. Is that a reason to give up? No, because guess what? Melody McFarland has had those days, and she would not be where she is right now if she did not get over it, stay positive, and keep going, okay? There is an end in sight, and if you have been given the vision, if you see your family in a better place, if you see you building your dream house in the future, if you see yourself having a beach house and retiring early and retiring your husband, stopping him from working 2 jobs, getting to do fun things with your kids, going out to eat more, if you see these things happening, it's because God put them in your head because they can actually happen. Okay, it's not, God doesn't put something in your head that's impossible. He doesn't put something in your head that you're like, well, I really wish I could do this, but oh well, I'm going to sit and mope about it and not make it happen. Okay, these things are possible, and this company is a blessing that has made these things possible for us in a simple way, really. And when you overcomplicate it, it's not going to happen. Okay, keep it simple and stay positive, okay? The second thing that you need to do, that you need to keep your mind at all times, is that it is not about you, okay? I know I just said all those things. Goals are wonderful. They keep you going. They keep you moving forward, and we're human. So if something is not going to benefit us, we're not going to be a part of it, and that's okay. That's the way God made us, okay? But if you are only in this company to help yourself, then you're not going to get very far, because this company is about building our teams together, and helping each other always. I mean, I have had to help people before. Well, I haven't had to, but God has kind of told me, you know, like, you really should do this, you really should help this person out, and I'll bless you in return. People who aren't even on my team, it doesn't even affect me. They're on my sideline. It doesn't help me to help them, really. But I mean, God has blessed me for doing that, okay? You have to be there for other people. You have to always be about the person, okay? So how this applies to signing distributors is that you want to focus on them and their life, okay? Nobody wants to join your team to help you get your 4 customers and to help you promote to Ruby and Emerald. I mean, nobody wants that. I mean, that's not going to convince anybody, okay? Unless it's somebody who's just close to you and they're just completely selfless. That's not going to help anybody, okay? This is not about you, okay? And I don't want you, it's not going to help you to message people and try to put off that you care about them, but really you don't. You need to honestly be writing these people down, okay? If they tell you something they're struggling with, write it down and pray about it. Tell them you're praying about it. Call them and pray with them, okay? We are here to be here for people. Even if they decide to never join your team, we are here to be here for people, okay? I've signed all my distributors because they know how I love them, and they know that I am working my butt off to get them their goals and their dreams, and they are my focus. I know each one of my distributors' goals. I can tell you something that every single one of them wants. And my team isn't humongous right now, and I pray that I pray every day that I will always be able to keep up with my team and be there for them, because this thing is so much bigger than me and my goals and my dreams, okay? So when you contact people, first off, what I want you to do is I want you to pray. I want you to pray for these distributors. I want you to pray that God will give you names, and that people will jump out to you on Facebook, and that you will be able to know exactly who you need on your team and needs you, okay? Who needs you and needs this business. So then I want you to write those names down as they come to you, and I want you to put it up somewhere, and I want you to pray for those people every single morning and every single night, and then thank God that they found this business. Say, thank you, God. Let me be the light to them. Let me say the right things that I need to say in order to let them see what this company can do for them, okay? When you have that mindset and you make it about them, then you're not going to run people away, and you're never going to feel like, gosh, I'm being so pushy. You're never going to feel like a salesperson or pushy, because you're finding a way for this company and these products to help them, not to help you. And when you have that mindset, people, and you really truly believe it, there's nothing for people to see through. Like, you're not being transparent in a bad way, where they can see through you and see that really you're just trying to help yourself. No, you have, because people can see that. If that's really what you believe, if you're acting like you want to help them, but you really only care about yourself, people can see that. So you want to be transparent in a way that people see through to your heart, and they know that you really truly love them and care about them, okay? That's how you want to sign distributors. That is the focus. That is how you need to think, and you need to pray. You need to wake up every morning and pray that God gives you that mindset, okay? Because as He does, your mind will change, your life will change, and you'll turn around and you'll just be signing people left and right because you're thinking about them and you're signing people to help. Okay, make your goals to help 3 rubies on your team. Don't make your goals like diamond, 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 diamond. Okay, that's great, that's a great goal, but don't focus on that. When you're building rubies on your team, because that's going to help them so much in their families, you're going to get to diamond before you know it. Okay, so the focus is other people. It's about other people, not about you. Okay, and I am a very self-centered person and a very selfish person. I'm a human. I was born that way. It's a constant struggle. I have to wake up every morning and remind myself it's about other people, and to show that. Okay, find ways. Be creative and find ways to show other people how you really love them and care about them. Because it's going to be people's first reaction to be like, well, they're selfish. They only think about themselves. So do what you need to do to make them see otherwise, okay? And it's going to happen. I mean, sometimes having a conversation with the potential doesn't mean bringing up the business at all. Sometimes it just means just being there for them. You know, maybe somebody lost their grandfather. Not a good time to bring up the business, okay? Because it's not about you. It's not about your goals you're trying to hit by the end of midnight tonight. It's about them and that they just lost their grandfather, and you need to be there for them and not push your business on them, okay? Because then that's pretty transparently about you and not about them, okay? So I'm trying to keep this short. I don't want to get much longer than that, but I hope that this helped. I hope that you'll stay positive and that you'll make sure that you're always thinking about other people and not yourself. And that you just give it to God. I mean, really, truly pray about it and believe that it's going to happen and give it to God, okay? There's really not much more you can do than that, okay? Because God is the only person who can convince these people and show these people really that this business is for them and not just about you, okay? So I hope this helped. And I love you guys. And if you have any questions, I wish there was some kind of script I could give you, but the truth is to just be yourself and be a caring individual. Pray about it, and it'll happen. I believe in you guys, and every single person on my team is such a caring, loving individual, and I know that other people see that. And so just continue to work on yourself, and your team will just grow before your eyes, and you won't even know what to do with yourself. So good luck.
If your family or friends are not supporting your business or your dreams, as they put it, you are often told to cut ties because they obviously don't have your best interest in mind if they don't support your pyramid scheme. Truly, they are just worried about your financial and life decisions and want the very best for you. It has been proven that 99% of the time, that is not an MLM business. People end up isolating themselves because of this manipulation tactic and the social guilt caused by the MLM. Then they end up in an echo chamber surrounded by other Huns in the business. Oftentimes, this is done gradually and the Hun doesn't even realize. This also helps the MLM use information control manipulation tactics, like we discussed in the first part of this episode. Instill fear, such as fear of A, thinking independently, B, the outside world, C, enemies, D, losing one's salvation, E, leaving or being shunned by the group, F, others' disapproval. Because of feeling isolated and being in an MLM echo chamber, many people do become fearful to leave. They are convinced that the MLM has their best personal interest in mind and will teach them how to change their lives for the better. Many people enjoy personal development and creating and obtaining goals. Working on yourself is always a positive thing to do, and people in MLMs become fearful they won't be able to continue doing so, especially as religiously if they leave the MLM world. If they have shunned family and friends, they feel the need to prove they can be successful with their businesses. They don't want to lose the new friends they believe that they have made. Many watch others leave. Drama occurs. They are shunned by the new support network, and it can be a hellish experience to watch and even a worse one to go through. So, they become fearful of leaving. This is why it is so important the anti-MLM community creates a safe, accepting, and supportive place for them to fall. And Huns, I have made more friends that have lasted far longer than anyone I met while I was doing MLMs within the anti-MLM community. The true friendships are made here. People in MLMs are often financially dependent on the MLM business, so they will literally fear losing their salvation. It's a sad thing, and they need to know there are financial resources available to help get them back on their feet once they leave. Number 6, extremes of emotional highs and lows. Members of MLMs are love-bombed and showered with praise even from the first message they get to recruit them onto the team or sell them a product. We nicknamed people in MLMs Huns because they often send a message out like this upon first contact with their targeted wannabe distributor. Hiya, Hun. How are you? Hope you're surviving the snow. The reason I'm reaching out to you, Hun, is I'm trying to really improve my lifestyle, eating better foods and exercising more. I was wondering if it's something you'd be interested in doing too. We have a free support group that helps keep people motivated and shows meal or snack ideas. No obligation or anything, just wanting to try and help others make changes, if that's something they want to do. Gonna try and create a wee community. XX. After all the love bombing and hey hudness rubs off, the new downline will be made to feel guilty, inadequate, and fearful of leaving or even asking negative questions, especially questions asking why they aren't yet making money after months of busting their butts in their side hustle. Number 7, ritualistic and sometimes public confession of sins. 2 words, my why. Everyone in a MLM is made to publicly announce their why they are in the MLM, what issues it will solve for them, and all the good they hope it will continue to bring them. This is not only done with hopes the story will help recruit more members. And you often have to confess this over and over again. Number 8, phobia indoctrination, creating irrational fears about leaving the group or questioning the leader's authority. A, no happiness or fulfillment possible outside of the group. B, terrible consequences if you leave. C, shunning of those who leave, fears of being rejected by family, friends, and peers. D, never a legitimate reason to leave. Those who leave are weak, undisciplined, unspiritual, worldly, brainwashed by others, for example, the anti-MLM community. E, threats of harm to ex-member and family. Phobia indoctrination is definitely done by MLMs, especially if one is in a health and wellness or essential oil MLM. They may be scared leaving will create terrible consequences to their health. Holistic medicine is very popular in society. Although helpful as an aid, it should never replace medical treatment. However, oftentimes it ends up replacing it, and MLMs take full advantage of this. Young Living essential oils especially adds to this, as well as the anti-vax community. Nobody ever has a legitimate reason to leave according to a Hunbot. Those who leave must not have wanted it enough, worked hard enough, or something must be wrong with them. It is never the fault of the products or the company or their business model. There is always something wrong with the individual. Shunning does occur. There have also been reports of harassment, including and not limited to calling Child Protective Services falsely on an ex-member who's a parent, and companies suing ex-members for speaking out against the products or company after leaving and the harm that they do. Companies do try to silence ex-Hunbots and have even tried to silence those in the anti-MLM community. However, we refuse to be silenced. So, let's discuss what it would mean for society if MLMs are, in fact, cults. The impact of cult groups on society and the influence they exercise cannot and should not be underestimated. Over 18 million people are in MLMs every year in the USA alone. That is not including Canada and the UK and other places that they have expanded to. MLM businesses appear to be taking over. Social media has given the ability to reach as many people as possible. Luckily, it works for our side of raising awareness as well. The social and economic conditions all over the world has people looking for easy answers, which leaves them vulnerable to the quick fix philosophy MLMs offer. Reduced capacity for rational thought through overextension and exhaustion is experienced when you're in a MLM. This is obviously not good for society as a whole. MLMs are harmful to true small business owners as they take over craft fairs and events. Hunbots are convinced they are the CEO of their own business when they are working for a large corporation. This can negatively affect our economy as more people stay home to work for MLM businesses and less go into the workforce. Several careers are in great need of more employees. For example, we need more nurses and more people working in all trades, such as construction and welding. Many people in MLMs drop out of these careers to have a work-from-home job that is unsustainable. MLMs do not give their employees health care, dental care, or vision care. Here in Canada especially, these benefits are offered through your place of employment. This can be especially worrisome if you are in a health and wellness or essential oil MLM that can often make illegal health claims that many end up believing. So, they turn to holistic medicine and essential oils to cure all their ailments. Not to mention, MLMs have added very heavily to the anti-vax community. In the USA, healthcare is especially expensive, and these MLMs take full advantage of that fact. When you leave an MLM, like most cults, you need to deprogram yourself from what the MLM taught you to believe. Not only about the company, but about yourself and society as a whole. In our next episode of The Manipulation of a Hunbot, we are going to discuss religion and the role it plays with MLMs and their cult mentality. Then, in episode 6, we will discuss how to deprogram yourself from cult mentality and multi-level marketing businesses. But first, we must decide if MLMs are in fact cults. Let's refresh our memory on the definition of a cult. Cult, a great devotion to a person, idea, object, movement, or work. Also, every cult can be defined as a group having all of the following 5 characteristics. Number 1, it uses psychological coercion to recruit, indoctrinate, and retain its members. Number 2, it forms an elitist totalitarian society. Number 3, its founder leader is self-appointed, dogmatic, messianic, not accountable, and has charisma. Number 4, it believes the end justifies the means in order to solicit funds and recruit people. And number 5, its wealth does not benefit its members or society. So, according to Stephen Hassan, the man who created the Byte model and the information that we know here, MLMs could very well be a cult. Based on the facts I point out and just provided to you, along with the examples of how MLM companies manipulate people into their businesses, based on the fact that MLM companies do use almost all of the manipulation tactics listed in the Byte model, it is fair to say that MLMs are cults. They are public, legal, and widely socially acceptable cults. The scariest thing about them is that they use your own family and friends to manipulate you through social media to join their team to solve all of your problems. Then they keep control of you from your very own living room. This is why it is important to spread awareness about the harms of these companies and help prepare society to block out their tactics and continue to live fulfilling and happy lives without MLMs. If you are stuck in a MLM, there are resources in my description to help you. You can always come to us for a safe place to land. The anti-MLM community is here for you. For the rest of you, be thankful that you left when you did or that you never joined. And everyone, please remember, don't get manipulated by a Hunbot.